It's ready when we're ready, okay?
All right.
Now we get ready to start.
All right, let's do this.
All right.
And then you tell me when to hit the button.
All right. Just about ready. Huh? He's giving tickets away. All right, we're ready.
Ready?
Yep.
It's time for the best podcast around. Grab a cold one, sit back, and enjoy the show. This is Corner Pub Sports.
Hey, this is Brian Dawkins, and you're looking at Corner Pub Sports.
Corner Pub Sports.
We'll do it live.
Yo. What is going on? Happy 10 years live from Sandy's Beef Canal, Langhorne. Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Sandy's Beef Canal is hosting us. Our 10-year anniversary celebration of Corner Pub Sports is off and running. Gary, you want to say something?
Friends, family, guests, thank you for a memorable 10 years.
Yes. Thank you so much. For everyone here in attendance, our co-host Mike is walking around with raffle tickets. We're going to be giving away a bunch of stuff today, so anyone that's hanging out, we're just going to randomly call out numbers during the show. We have a couple special guests in the house. One of them is here right now. Mr. Steve Jeltz, former Philadelphia Phillies here. He'll be jumping on the mic momentarily. We got a bunch of friends here, faces I haven't seen in a while. We got Callie here, so thank you guys so much for coming out. It means the world to all of us.
When Mike's coming around, when he hands you your ticket, give him a little tickle.
Yeah, tickle.
Just like a little tickle.
Yeah,
Tickle,
he likes that.
Tickle.
So we
Mike, don't laugh too hard.
Easy
Mike-
with that finger, Mike.
Mike's got a tough job. He's got a tough job.
Yeah, he's got a tough job. Yeah.
All right, cool. But we want to thank Michelle and everybody for having us here at Sandy's. We're going to see if we can get someone from Sandy's to jump on with us to talk a little bit about the business here at Sandy's. And but without further ado, it's time to get into some sports talk because I was hoping to lead off with the Phillies, but things changed because the Flyers made a big move. They fired Coach John Tortorella this week, which was kind of a surprise to me. I just wanted to kind of get everyone's thoughts. Pat's on the mic. Pat, who obviously is a more of a behind-the-scenes guy for us, does a lot of posts for us on our social media accounts. Pat's been a part of this as long as everyone. So, Pat, why don't you start and give your thoughts about what you thought about that whole firing of John Tortorella?
I was talking to Ryan and Gary before. Like I said, how I just thought they were going to wait out the rest of the season for that. I didn't think they were going to do it with like 10 games left. It was a little weird to me, strange. I saw it coming. I just don't think he can. He's a very hard coach, and like mentioned, like Yorkie did, and he mentioned Mishkov, which I was shocked when he did that. I mean, so you can't coach in that kind of climate now. You know, it's a different kind of, like I said, culture right now to do that. You can't be that kind of hard-nosed coach.
That's it.
I just thought they were going to wait until the end of the season. So that's the only reason that shocked me. But I don't know. Working out now, they won the other game. I think they're winning now. So I don't know. I guess the players respond not having
Blow it up.
I don't know.
Blow the team up, man.
Yeah.
Blow the team up. Look out.
I think they're already blown up. They're young. They're a very young team. I really thought they were going to be better this year, honestly. If you're just talking overall about the Flyers, last year, they were in the playoff spot.
Is that you?
And then they had that little fall down toward the end. They missed it by, like 8 points. I really thought that this year was going to be that next step. I wanted to see them get into the playoffs and then, just get that experience with that younger team. But I didn't happen. I really wasn't expecting that type of year that just, I really thought they were going to be better.
Like Tortorella is a solid coach with a good pedigree. Not today.
No.
That's them. His
And-
pedigree and the style he coaches, it just doesn't work with these young kids.
And I agree. In the final straw, apparently he had a physical altercation with Cam York.
Shut your yak.
That's Tortorella right there.
Yeah. Apparently he grabbed him by the throat or something.
Well,
Like,
there's
so,
there's a report that refuted that, said there was no physical altercation between Tortorella and Cam York.
But then it say there was in the middle, like in the second intermission, it got heated.
It was a heated argument.
Oh, I thought there was like.
Nah, apparently no physical. I gotta take that feedback down. No physical altercation.
Oh.
But there was a heated argument between.
Yeah, I thought I read something. There was something physical.
Yeah.
The problem is Tortorella's he's benching these players, even our supposed stars, and he don't give them an explanation why.
Yeah, he doesn't tell them. He doesn't communicate with them.
These kids nowadays, you need to explain to them why they're being benched, or they're just not going to respond to you.
Yeah, that's what it. And I think they were afraid too. Like maybe the players were afraid that we're gonna get benched, and then they were overthinking things. And maybe that's why they weren't they were playing scared.
Right.
And it looked like that too, because the one thing last year, what I liked about last year was every year the Flyers, when they got like down by a goal or two, it seemed like they just took the foot off the gas pedal and then they didn't play.
Right.
But last year they were down 3 goals, 4 goals. They kept going and going and going. And they were playing that way in the beginning of the year, but if you notice, like in the middle and toward the end now, they weren't playing like that. Once they got down, they went in fear again, and that was the way they did like a couple years ago.
Right.
I love last year how they never gave up, but this year it seems like they gave up again.
And even that, like Pat, like you got a hot rookie comes out, the rookie for your team, he's lighting up the scoreboard. He's getting on the highlight reel, and he has a great game. The next night you bench him.
Yeah.
With no explanation. Why did you bench him?
I tried to turn it down.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, especially him, that was a shocker.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. And, you got to look at the future with the Flyers, too, right now. If they got a new coach in, that's one thing, but you got to start looking at, and I've been saying this for the last couple of years, guys like Couturier, I really think you got to move on from him. If you're a young team
That's easier said than done, though. Like, he's so injury-plagued in the contract,
Yeah.
it's hard to move at. Like, it doesn't happen in the NHL the way it does in other sports.
Clause too, I think.
Right, he'd have to approve it.
Yeah, but, I mean, if I was him, why would you not want to go to a contender right now? Maybe they can give just the Flyers a couple of draft picks or something. The Flyers aren't going to win anything anytime soon, and he's going to be done. Yeah, like the Flyers aren't going to be winning anything anytime soon, so he should be gone.
Apparently, Mick Jagger wants somebody to make love to him.
Yeah, I know.
Apparently, Mick Jagger wants his plug on the podcast, too. You know what I mean? It's Mick Jagger. He can't go wrong, though, right? That's a lot better. Yeah, a lot better. But yeah, I agree with the both of you. And we all questioned it on the panel when they hired Tortorella. It's not his pedigree. It's not the kind of coach he was. I just don't think he was the right coach for where the Flyers were at from the jump. He's not a guy that comes in and rebuilds.
No.
He usually takes a team that's on the brink
And motivates.
gets them over the hump because
Right.
his message runs stale after 3 or 4 years, where the players just, all right, I had enough of this guy. Like, I'm getting tired of being yelled at. So, and Gary, I couldn't agree with you more. Today's NHL, I think guys like him, Peter Laviolette, who's Alain Vigneault, the one that coached the Flyers a couple years ago.
Yep.
I think these guys' time has come. Like, this generation of players is just not going to respond to that anymore.
Yeah, but Tortorella was here before Briere, right? He was. Yeah, that's why. So Briere, I mean, the rebuild really started when Briere took over.
And that's another thing. Tortorella is really not Briere's guy.
No. Exactly. So now maybe Briere can get his guy. I don't know who.
Right. His guy's going to be Tocchet.
You think
I
so?
don't think it's Tocchet. I don't think it's another.
It's going to be Tocchet.
I don't think it's another veteran retread. Only because I think the Flyers have gone against that mantra since Briere and Jones took over of the Flyer way.
Wait a minute.
And Rick Tocchet is the complete epitome of a Flyer guy.
Yep.
So if they go that way,
So
I'm reverting back to where I was 3 years ago with this team.
But so is Briere and Jones.
Right, but it was a different philosophy. It wasn't the typical Flyer guy thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like they weren't just we're gonna beat you up. You know what I mean? Like they changed their philosophy. So like if they go with Tocchet,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm out. I'm out.
I don't know.
No, I'm out.
I don't know.
I know. I'm out.
So
I'm out.
real quick. So Mike walked around, gave everyone some tickets. I got a bunch of stuff. We're gonna be calling out numbers momentarily, periodically throughout the show. I'm gonna call out a number right now. So check your ticket.
Tickets.
All right. The winner of our first prize, 141-030.
It's me.
141-030.
Talking about me.
Somebody's got that ticket. They're just not paying attention.
Yeah.
141-030.
Check your ticket. Check your ticket.
All right.
5, 4, 3.
There we go.
We got a winner. Yeah.
All right. Courtesy of Dynasty Sports, you win a Joel Embiid picture.
There you go.
You can't trade it in.
Good fire starter. There you go.
Thanks, man. And you know what? While we're at, I'll call in another one real quick.
Hopefully you have a dartboard at home.
How about 141-010? Oh, Debbie. All right, I can't.
No, it's not rigged at all. I promise.
Debbie, you win an autographed bottle signed by Mitch Williams. Wild Things. Why? You don't like Mitch Williams?
You don't like Mitch Williams? What's wrong with that? You can act a little appreciative.
It's Mitch Williams autograph.
Look, where else you getting Mitch Williams autograph?
That's right. All right, good. So I'm on track with you guys as far as the Flyers stuff goes. I was surprised that Tortorella got fired because I thought they would at least let him finish out the season. That didn't happen. It is what it is. This team's this team's a little bit of a mess right now. And we'll see what happens. Let's change it over. I know this is an abbreviated conversation, but we have a lot to get to tonight.
Tonight? What do you mean?
The Phillies. Sorry. Let's talk about the Phillies. We didn't give our predictions on the season because since our last show 2 weeks ago.
Right. We're gonna do that tonight.
Yeah, I figured let's give our predictions on what we think is going to happen with this team. They're 1-0 right now. 161 and more to go. Let's go.
All right,
let's go undefeated season.
I'll go first.
All right. Your prediction for the Phillies this season.
I'm not going to lie. I don't feel good about them. I know their pitching staff is phenomenal, right?
It's supposed to be the best in the league.
But the same thing, the one thing you got to keep in mind is how long has it been since Nolan missed an extended period? Since Wheeler's missed an extended period? Like, it's bound to happen. They're old. I think they get plagued with injuries. I don't even think they make the playoffs. And I think when you get to the All-Star break, when you get to the trade deadline, you're trading guys like Schwarber, JT, like to get it, Castellanos, to get out of these contracts.
Damn, bro, that's harsh.
I think it's a bad year.
Harsh.
He's wearing a Harper jersey, ladies and gentlemen.
I started out
and he's doom and gloom. He's doom and gloom.
Yeah, I think it's a bad year.
That's harsh.
Then,
An old team with bad plate discipline.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you? I'm not going to go quite as rough as you did there. You kind of, I ran the article this week on our website, cornerpudsports.net. So you saw what I thought. I actually went a little higher than I actually think. I was thinking more like the 87, 88 range. I'm giving them 90 games because of the pitching. The starting rotation should be pretty good. It should be good enough to win those games. And their lineup, say what you want, that lineup does produce. Yes, they go through these hot and cold streaks, especially when it's 90 degrees out, Gar.
Absolutely. We need that 90-degree weather.
I understand that, but I just think talent-wise, I think they're too talented not to win at least 88, 89, 90 games. I don't think they win the division. I think the Braves win the division because I think the Braves are a more complete team.
But so what? They still go into the playoffs.
And then they'll go in the playoffs, and we'll see what happens then. It depends on how they're playing going into that point.
Correct.
Like, last year, I think most of us on this panel felt the same way. Like, they limped. They limped into the playoffs at that point. And, things weren't looking all that hot for them. And they weren't playing well. They weren't hitting in timely situations. Steve Jeltz and I were talking before the show about that very thing, about how they don't listen to hitting coach. They just do what they want. And if they can stop doing that somehow, then this team has a chance to actually make a decent run in the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to be that.
I'll say this. 2 things. Number 1, stop shooting for the stars. I've been saying this and saying this. Just get the ball in play. Get on base. Make a play when you're on base. That's number 1. Like number 2, like the pitching staff is solid. If you can get runs and get on base and just support your pitching staff and not have to go into the bullpen so early, then you can have a solid season. That's number 2. Number 3, Trey Turner has to have a better season this season than he's had in the past 2. Like let's get it. And that Stott, time for him to go. Enough of him.
Yeah, they have control over Stott where they're not going to just let him go. But
I get it. I'm just as a fan, I'm frustrated with it.
Yeah, no, I hear
but
you.
I do think they win 90, 92 games.
92 games.
Yeah.
Playoff team. Are they winning the division?
92 wins.
Doesn't win it. Okay.
Don't win the division.
All right, there's a reunion.
Oh, there it is.
So we have another major league ball player in the building, Mr. Jay Baller, pitched for the Phillies. A couple stints. Jay, welcome, man. So we didn't tell Steve Jeltz that Jay was coming because we thought it'd be a nice little reunion. So going back, man. Yeah, we can't wait to have you. We want you guys both on later, sharing some stories, man, for sure. That's awesome. Thanks for coming, both of you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
That's great.
So you have them. What, second place then?
Yes.
92 wins gets you second place.
Yes. No, second place.
Yeah.
92 wins.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I got I was with you, Sean. I got them at 90 wins. I mean, they're better than a 500 team, obviously. Everything that you guys are talking about, I just don't feel great about the team right now. I feel like they peaked. I feel like this is kind of really similar to what happened with the 08, 09, 010 kind of rundown. They didn't win the championship this time around, but they're getting old. They're not adjusting.
Right.
And they didn't do anything this all season, really. I think they regressed a little bit. I think the bullpen actually got a little worse. I like to trade for Lazaro, but but the bullpen.
And he's making his debut today, so we'll see what Jesus Lazardo does. A guy who he has good stuff. It's just a matter if he's going to be healthy or not.
Yeah.
It kind of comes down to that.
And I agree with Ryan that they have actually gotten lucky with health for the most part. I mean, last year they did have a lot of like nagging injuries. I mean, Harper was hurt to start the season. Turner ended up, starting out on fire and then got hurt once or twice.
Yeah.
So they did have some injuries. So maybe that's a little harsh, but until they show anything in the playoffs, I'm going to call them at 91 wins. I think they maybe get like the last wild card spot, but I don't feel good about what they do in the playoffs.
Okay. Pat, what do you got?
No, I kind of agree with that. I think they're going to get a wild card, but I've been saying that since last year. I don't think they're going to win the division at all. I mean, the reason that makes me concerned is I think they have a very talented roster. I love the pitching rotation. What makes me scared is what they do the last couple of years and just collapse. Like last year when they started out so hot, I remember thinking, wow, it's so awesome that we're like the best team in baseball, but can we sustain that? And we didn't do it. And we went down and crashed down at the wrong time. And it just feels like it's been that way. That last year, it was that way in the playoffs the year before when they should have beat when they should have beat the Diamondbacks. I mean, they lost what game? It was game 5 and 6 when they lost, and so it just that makes me scared. Are they going to do that again? I think they have the talent to do something, but are they going to be able, like you said, the hot and cold streak? Can they stay hot? I just don't know. I think they can get a wild card, but I don't know what more.
Yeah.
I can't go in with super high expectations.
I hear that. So, if I was to ask you guys, because we're all kind of we're in the same realm. I mean, Ryan's more down on them than we are. But
which isn't surprising. That's usually Ryan's take.
Yeah. But like overall, like what's if I was to ask you guys what your number one concern is, what is it? What's your number one concern about this team not making consistency? Yeah, that's mine too.
I mean, mine is not being able to lay off bad pitches, not being patient at the plate. Which I don't know if that's pretty much the same thing as consistency. But
yeah, I mean, sure.
Just
100%.
Yeah, and when they face good pitching, and when they face a pitching staff that's going to know how to work each player, they're just going to be too aggressive. They're just not going to be. They're not going to find a way to make it work. So that's my concern.
Thank you. All right, you know what? While we're at it,
we're going to do another one.
Yeah, let's do two.
Two more.
So the next two winners, I'm doing a little self-promotion here. I wrote a book. It came out in October. It's all about being a Philadelphia sports fan. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hold on a second. Let me. I gotta find the.
Oh, good.
There
for
it is.
You.
So the next two tickets will win a copy of my book. If you want me to sign it, yeah, I could do. All right, let's do it. Let's go. Yeah, go ahead.
140026.
140026. Ticket 140026. Going once. Going twice. All right, call it a different one. Call it a different one.
All right, ready? 140013.
140013.
Going once. Going twice.
Wait, is that you, Kelly? That's wrong. 140013. That's got to be close. It was if she was 010, it had to be one of the first ones.
Someone throw them back in though. Yeah.
Somebody's got it.
Yeah.
Ready? 140047.
047.
Check your tickets. Oh, we got a winner. All right. Hey, do you already have this? Oh. Here, I'll get you something else.
You can?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, give it to someone else. All right, cool.
Gift it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do it again.
Oh, yeah, one more. All right.
14009.
09.
14009.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Hey,
That's what it
did you?
says. 141009. There we go.
You good?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Thank you, Callie. So, Callie,
She'll read this one.
Same table one.
It's because it had your germs on it.
Callie, what do you think, dude? What do you think about the Phillies? What are your predictions, dude?
Well,
Dude, it's good to see it too, man.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
It has been a while since we did this live,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like 7 years.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's awesome to be back. But it all comes down to pitching. Like, I just want to see what Sanchez can do. We already know what Wheeler can do. You know, so we don't have to worry about that. Nola's always a question mark. 10 years, I still have not met Polsky yet.
Yeah, that's the first time you met Polsky, right? Yeah, that's funny.
So,
Yeah, the back-to-back between those two on the text thread when we're doing a show, the yelling at each other, calling each other names. and they finally meet face to face. It's awesome. I love it. 2 Polacks. You're not even Polish.
Irish pull-up. Anyways.
I know. I'm kidding.
Not even close.
Kalinski.
Callahansky.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Your
I
pick.
forget what I was even saying.
About the Phillies.
About the pitching, yeah. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. It's always a wait and see with this team when it comes to a lot of things. Or I think before we had like a pre-spring training thing that we talked about, and we said every guy has a question mark everywhere.
Yep.
Every single player is a question mark. So we'll let it play out. We already know what this team capable of doing, but can they do it consistently? And that's what it's all about, being consistent, pretty much. You know. So.
Mindset.
How many wins?
Mindset.
I'm going to say I'm going 91.
91 wins.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, we got Mike's dad on that wants to do a prediction too.
Oh, there you go.
And
Oh,
thanks to Mike's dad for handing out some of the tickets.
Thank you.
and whatnot.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. So, a prediction. Well, I have to ask you, how healthy are they going to be? You don't know. What's their ages? Can you give me some numbers, Sean, Mike?
I mean,
Harper's around 30 now, or
their lineup is average of late, like 29.
so a little past their, like, if 27's like their top peak, they're regressing, but not.
Right, because you got Schwarber, Castellanos, Realmuto, and Harper all over 30. The rest of the lineup.
What's Turner?
And Turner's.
Is he like 20?
He might be 30.
Yeah, I think he's close.
He might
to
be 30.
Yeah.
So but the rest of the team, you got Marsh, Stott, forget a couple.
Bohm.
Yeah, boom. They're all under 30. They're all 27, 28 years old. So.
Now, that's tough.
I mean, theoretically, if they stay healthy, because you can't predict injuries, right? Like, yeah, injuries are going to happen, but let's just say they stay relatively healthy. The pitching stays relatively healthy. Theoretically, what's your thoughts?
Well, in the end, you got to be healthy at the playoff time. You could see that last year. They didn't have a real good second half because they weren't healthy.
Right.
And the window's closing, but those ages, you're still productive. If you're a good player, you're still productive. If they're productive at the same time, they're going to win a lot of games. If they're all healthy in the playoffs, they're going to win a lot of games. So they can compete.
Okay.
It really just comes down to how healthy they are. I'm going to be on the optimistic side and say they remain healthy. Win 95 games.
95.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
And
Does that win the division?
no.
No?
Okay.
95 won't win it?
I don't know. It could be a playoff at 95.
95 wins. And don't win the
because you're
division.
stealing
might
games
not.
at 95 wins. You're talking about other teams having 90-some wins too. So you're stealing wins off each other.
Yeah.
Commenting
true.
on that, John, the stuff you were saying. Did you see what Bryce Harper came out and said? Enough with the daycare. It's time to be men and play ball.
I agree with that.
Yes,
100% agree
too.
with that. Because, it's enough. Like,
Who said that?
Harper said that. And he's right. These guys are, Marsh and Stott. Look, I'm going to say this, and I don't know how people are going to think about this. I'm glad that Garrett Stubbs is down in AAA.
Well, he's a clown.
I'm tired of that clown behavior on this team. They need to grow up a little bit, and I do agree with Harper in that aspect because, like, the dumping water and all that stuff. Like, no, enough. Like, we've done this before. Act like you've been there before. It's a long season. Let's see what you do in the playoffs now. And, people like Stubbs, who's best known for, creating a playlist in the locker room. Enough of that.
Yeah.
You need better players here, and they need more production when it matters most. I'm not going to rely on someone like Garrett Stubbs to take over for Real Muto, who's probably going to play less games this year than he's played in his career without injury. Like, because of his age, he's probably going to be playing, my guess, 40%,
I actually like the backup catching
55,
situation.
60% of the games. So the other 35, 40% has to go to someone who's going to produce.
And I like what's it,
Marchand. Give me Marchand.
Yeah.
Let me see what happens.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
More
that's going to be
consistent player
key.
than Stubbs.
He's got to produce.
Yeah.
The catcher is a really important position. I understand somebody had said it. I don't know how true it is, but somebody said he was really good at handling the pitchers too.
Jake, you want to
That's
jump on
one of
here?
his strengths. So.
We're gonna get our one of our loyal listeners here, Jake Miller, to jump on here. I'm jumping on. Go ahead. You take my spot, and you want to talk some Phillies with these guys.
Welcome, Mr. Jake. How we
Yeah,
doing?
what's going
Good.
on,
How
man?
you guys doing?
So I guess it's your turn for Phillies prediction.
I'm not as bad as Ryan. I think the Mets are frauds,
Okay.
and I think they'll win the division. I think baseball proved as long as you get in the playoffs, you got a shot.
Okay,
And
I like the optimism.
was the top 6 teams make it? Phillies are a top 6 team in the National League.
Yeah.
Well, the Mets with that payroll, if they're not in the playoffs, that's a problem.
What about the Braves? You worried about the Braves? They're healthy now.
As long as that's why I think it's going to come down to them and the Braves for the division.
Okay.
But I still think as long as you get in, the Phillies got a shot, and they proved that the last couple of years.
Yeah, you're right. It's constantly a toss-up. This year, the cream really did rise to the top without lie. But they just it was like brute force.
Yeah. I just think the Mets are going to Met at some point.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, like the
That's what
Phillies
they do.
the Phillies just got to overcome the mediocrity when it comes to the postseason. That's all. Like don't shoot for the stars. Just play small ball. Like keep the other team's pitching staff on the bench. Keep your guys playing and producing. Don't shoot for the stars and strike out.
Yeah, they definitely got to change their approach at the plate. They're way too aggressive. These guys just throw strikes and then they're down 0-2 right away.
Swinging late, swinging at high stuff. Like just wait for your pitch. Be patient. Like look at the pitcher, see what the pitcher's giving you, and adjust to that pitcher.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's why I'm not worried about them. It's a long season. I think the Phillies will be just fine. As long as they get in, we got a shot.
I agree.
Well, have Schwarber coach him up for those walks.
Yeah, he walks a lot, but he also strikes out a ton too.
Yeah, he also works some of the best 0-2 counts I've ever seen. He gets the 3-2 all the time, man. That's a mindset.
But last season, if you're going to single out Schwarber, last season, Schwarber was one of the few batters that made adjustments. He made hits to get on base. He wasn't shooting for the stars.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah, why don't you? All right, go on. All right, yeah. So I don't know if Jason's gonna come on, and another one of our fans that has been listening for a while. So I guess we could ask the Phillies Pirates prediction, or what you think of the Steelers free agency, whatever. All your Pittsburgh.
So as people drop off of the Eagles roster, I'll be happy to accept them to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Darius Slay.
Yeah.
Listen, we gave you guys a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Kenny Pickett, and then you just threw him away.
Right,
like
we did.
Rubbish.
We did. We threw away Kenny Pickett.
Speaking of rubbish, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Kenny Pickett.
This could be the year.
That's your argument, Kenny Pickett? Him and his little hands?
Listen.
Kenny Gloves.
Are you waiting for Aaron Rodgers?
Look, I'm telling you, I like little hands. They work wonders. I mean,
I hear you, man.
That's the consequence. I like a little carny quarterback. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. But dude, no matter who you are, you got to be excited to watch Skeens this year, right? Paul Skeens and his girlfriend. It's the most exciting thing that's happening in Pittsburgh,
right?
And they're
still together,
they're
huh?
not going to even touch the playoffs.
Right.
It's exciting to be in a place where there's at least good feelings about a baseball team.
Yes.
And I think you guys are right on, like 90 wins, between 90, 95 wins for the Phillies. I think they're going to rip it up through this year. I mean, it's just so much fun to watch it.
Yeah.
And I hope that, just like, dude, it's frustrating to live here when my teams back home suck.
Got Paul Skeens, though. He's a stud.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, I mean, it's Pittsburgh had a good run for a while. I mean, actually, yeah, even the Penguins, like they're.
Dude,
all
I think
three
I
of them.
texted you not that long ago. Like, I think Philly is in like the golden era right now. I mean, this is it. Like with the wins that they have, a whole city of champions things might be going on. Other than the Flyers, that's never happening. I mean, dude, 4 for 4 is 2 for 2.
Yeah,
and I mean that ain't half bad.
I think
Like,
the Flyers are heading in the right
Flyers
direction.
Are dead. I mean, it's a Phillies Eagles situation right now, and it's a lot of fun. I wouldn't be surprised to see them both do it again. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Eagles repeat and the Phillies do it. But
oh, nice. Okay, that'd be awesome.
I mean,
You don't think the Flyers are heading in the right direction?
no. What's their direction?
I mean,
guess
they're
that's the bigger
basically
question,
pulling
right?
a process of what the Sixers did, what
That
they were
worked
doing
out well.
before.
That worked out.
I mean, hey, look, it didn't work out for the Sixers, but they had to do something different. They had to try to do something.
I feel like with the
We're
Flyers,
going to move into my Flyers mentality here, which is where I become a bit of a poor sport. They're going to be awful forever.
I feel like
And they have no direction.
I do feel like they rebuild just to rebuild again. Like they rebuild and then trade off their guys.
You're going to get rid of Tortorella. You're going to bring in a goalie. He's going to do what he does in some hotel room. Then you got to eliminate him, and then you're going to bring in somebody else.
Well,
right?
the goalie was a bad guy.
Yeah,
that wasn't their fault.
Well, I'm just thinking about the direction. I don't see a direction.
I don't know. I think they're just trying to get younger and hoping some of these young guys can kind of take the team forward.
Yeah. If they're middle of the road, they're not going to be any good. So, I mean, being really bad, I guess, is one way to get better in the NHL.
I guess it's better to be young and bad than old and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better to be young and bad than old and bad.
There's only one way up, right?
Yeah, somebody should print that on something. But yeah, it's the same thing for the Penguins. Unless you get into the lottery, right? Unless you're going to get that pick, unless you're going to tank. I mean, the Penguins tanked for Lemieux. We also had a little bit of a tank job when it came to getting Crosby. Like, if you don't get your guy, just like a quarterback in the NFL, if you don't have like your team, as far as the Flyers go, and have like a solid 3, then it's never going to happen.
That's true. That's true.
Like, I don't know. It's a shame, but with the Sixers did it, but they, like you said, like they just fucked it up every chance they got.
Oh, they definitely made every wrong
We were
choice.
talking about that earlier. It's not about I think they do have a direction. It's not about that yet. It's just unknowns right now. Like, everyone is so young. We know we have Mitchell. We can build around him.
Super Bowl winning quarterback Kenny Pickett from the bleachers over here.
It
obviously.
just depends on who else we get in the mix. Like you said, they're all young, and so I don't know.
He's in the middle of a conversation. You interrupted him, you jackass.
You know what? I mean, so we're talking about. Like,
I think they do have a direction. I just don't know where. We just unknown right now. Like I was saying earlier, like I thought this year they're going to take that next step forward from last year, maybe get into the playoffs, because last year they just missed it. This year everything went haywire, but that goes with the young team. Like you were talking about the Sixers, and that's a total different thing. Like you can give the Sixers are a mess. The Flyers, they have an excuse. I think they have an excuse because they're young, and this team is just trying to find that identity. That's why hopefully they get a new coach in now that can help that and help grow that. I think they should go with a younger coach. Actually, I don't. Think
I agree.
I really do think they should get a young guy in here and build it from there and have that.
I've always thought one of the biggest things that I've seen from the outside coming to like living in Philadelphia over like the past 13 years is that the Flyers refuse to think outside at all. They just keep hiring old Flyers, right? I mean, and I understand the attraction to Rick Tocchet, right? Like, because I've seen Rick Tocchet before as well, but like Danny Briere, you don't have to hire somebody that played for the fucking Flyers.
I don't want to see Tocchet either. I want to see somebody new.
Yeah, no, in Rick Tocchet, he's older. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Don't be afraid to move outside of the tri-state area. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to go and do that. The thing that scares me about the NHL draft is now you're not hearing names, or at least I don't hear names like you did with McDavid, like you did with Crosby, like you did with some of these guys. Like there's no savior coming. You know what
Well,
I mean?
Michkov's
I don't hear
supposedly the savior.
that. Where is he now, though? Because I'm not, and that's an honest question because I don't.
Well, he's a rookie, so
Yeah.
you hope that he develops. But they also had Provorov, which is the next big thing, and Konechny, which is they've had the next big. Nobody
They
quite.
had the next big thing that never became the next big thing.
Nobody
Right.
took that next step.
Yeah, JVR a while ago. It's like, yeah.
But it's difficult, and I mean, it just when hockey ends in the regular season, it's like you have 3 months of watching the playoffs that you just have to. Your blood boils when you see teams like, what the hell is Tampa doing? You know what I mean? Like, as much as like I'm not a Flyers fan, being a Pittsburgh guy, I would much rather see them, in the Cup race, and playing in the finals than the Lightning, dude. It's just so frustrating.
I hate Miami and Florida and
I hate all the Florida teams.
They don't deserve that.
It's
It
like
never gets
Cleveland
cold
shouldn't
enough.
be allowed to play football.
Wow.
Tampa shouldn't be allowed to play.
I mean, you probably got a point about Cleveland. But
Yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to do anything.
it has nothing to do with geography, but like,
Yeah. Yeah. We just don't need any of that.
And they're always good, too. There's always a Florida team that's in it.
Yeah.
What fan are you then?
he's from Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Penguins? Oh, no.
Yeah, I was flying under the radar with you for a minute,
no.
but yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. No, always. It's rough out here trying to pick a team to like. I'm not converting,
Well, no,
right? But like,
if you're from Pittsburgh, yeah, I'm good with that.
yeah,
You're from Pittsburgh. There's
You're
nothing
good-
wong
you're
with that.
good with that.
So, yeah,
It's the
so
one that.
yeah, but so like, I would love to see Rick Tocchet take the Flyers and go to another level, right? Like, I loved him when he was in Pittsburgh. Tortorella is just an easily hateable figure, right? I mean,
He is kind of he is a curmudgeon.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to go one way or the other. It went the other way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but I did not see him in a rebuild like you guys were mentioning from the beginning. Like,
I think
that's
his
not- I
style
don't
of
think he has
coaching
the
doesn't work
mentality.
anymore.
No, he doesn't have the patience for that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He's
exactly,
a
for the
fiery
young
guy,
players.
Light a fire under your ass. They need more than that. They need systematic change.
I think
to the
they need
way
more
that they're
patience.
playing the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how the game changes and who you're going to bring in that's going to be able to exact that with this team.
All right, guys. Sorry to interrupt the sports talk. We got another number to call. Everybody listening, listen up. Here we go. All right, we got 141022. Oh, all right.
Look at this guy.
That's my son,
There
Ellis.
we go. Here you go, Ellis. All right, Ellis, what do you got?
What size shirt do you wear, bud?
Which size? He doesn't know.
I think you're gonna like come around. Jalen Hurts.
Oh, look at that. Check it out. Show it.
That's rad. Oh, is that the?
Yeah, there we go.
Good job.
Nice.
I raised him right.
I love that. Yay.
All right, we got one more coming.
That is awesome.
All right, we got a bent one here. 141038. One 141038. Yeah. All right, we got somebody coming up. Sean's in.
I know. Hey, I love it. I got two of them.
All right, so we got 5 minutes, and we're going to bring some of our special guests on. Not that everyone here isn't special, but some actually played for professional teams. So,
You want me to bring him up? Go grab him. Real quick.
all right, so we're going to grab a couple of the kids to say hello.
And I'm moving out.
Okay.
I'm going to the bar where I belong. But yo, Friday nights with you guys is a fun time. We'll go
Appreciate
out.
it.
We hit happy hour, get a little tuned up, tune in, make some comments, have some fun. So congratulations on 10 years.
Thank you, bud. Thanks
See
for
you guys
coming, man.
later.
All right, well, we got some kids coming on. All right, kids, take over the mics.
You guys can figure out what you want to talk about. You want to talk about sports or whatever you guys want.
Ellis, how do you think the Eagles are going to do next year?
All right, we got somebody moderating. Sean, you want to moderate or you want me to moderate? All right.
The Eagles I think they're going to do good next year. They do have a shot at the Super Bowl again. We could do a three-peat 2 years in a row. Maybe. We could do it with the Chiefs. But the Chiefs suck, so that's why we're going to do it.
What do you guys think about the Eagles' moves in the offseason? You guys feeling good about them going next year? Are you a little nervous because there's so many guys left? Just when you talk, just talk into the microphone.
So I think the defense is going to be a little worse, but I think we're going to be good though.
Okay. What do you think, bud?
I think I know they got rid of some players, but they still gonna do good. They're probably gonna have a shot at the Super Bowl again. I think.
Okay.
I know one thing: Dallas is not gonna get close at all.
I like that. You know why? Because I got you right here.
Dallas sucks.
Because Dallas sucks. That's right. How about you down on the end? What do you think about the Eagles, bud?
The one thing I hope is that Dallas loses.
Yay!
A very bad
Thank
game.
Cool.
52.
Yeah, you're doing a good job raising these kids. Cool. All right, so we're gonna bring up our special guests here. So our first guest here, he's on a very short list of players who have not only hit home runs in the same game from both sides of the plate. He's also on an even shorter list of players born in France. He played for the Philadelphia Phillies during the 1980s. He played among the likes of Mike Schmidt and Manny Trejo and all these, guys, someone else jump on. And Juan Samuel, thank you. Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, Steve Carlton. I mean, you just Tug, right? You got to go Tug. His time with the Royals, he played with Bo Jackson. He played with a whole slew of players. Brett Saberhagen. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Sandy's Beef and Ale, Steve Jeltz. Whoever you want.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thanks,
Steve. Welcome back, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, man. Steve made a 2-hour drive to be here, so one more time, another round of applause, dude. 2 hours to come here. Thank you. So Steve, I mean, before we get into baseball and all that stuff, you do a ton of stuff in the community. You do a lot of stuff for, a lot of projects. So if you don't mind, like, what's going on with you right now, man? What have you been up to?
I've been doing a little contract work. I'm trying to get away from that a little bit, helping some people out. And then I've teamed up with Turf Time Athletics Facility in Carlisle. Doug Boyd, he has a son that plays ball at Central Penn. He's a ball player. And when I see him and talk to him and work with him, his dad's worked with him for years. He's a heck of a hitter. He's a catcher. He plays everywhere on the field. Great ball player. So if anybody's listening, look at Central Penn and look at Tanner Boyd because he can play the game. But outside of that, we have our youth and veterans organization. I'm working on building a complex for veterans and then having the ideas to have 16 fields inside the complex that's run by the veterans, and it's a safety zone for everyone. So
that's awesome, man. That's great, and I'm glad you're still going at it. Yeah, because the last time we seen you in person, we were at Nick's Roast Beef, and Mike Lebo with you.
Right.
How's Mike doing?
He's doing well. He's
good.
Yep.
Oh, good. Yeah, and you guys were at it back then, and I'm glad to see you're still going at it, still doing developmental projects and so on. So, so you know what? Before we really get into things that like because I'm sure you have a ton of stories to share with us, as you always do. And this is why you're one of our favorite guests, and that's why we want you to be a part of this 10-year anniversary, because you really are. You're one of the best guests we've had on our show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. And but before we get to that, what are your thoughts on the Phillies this year? Like, what do you think their outcome might be this year?
Well, based upon what they have, they could very well win the whole thing. I heard the concerns of what they're seeing, and they get to the end and then they fall off. And it's baseball, and it's about a mindset in the game. And I think what we got to make sure we do, unlike the rest of the league, is stick to the home run swings and start playing some more small ball. These guys are talented. They got a manager that is very good. I mean, a manager's job in the big leagues is chemistry in the clubhouse, and the guys need to know their role. They need to. Everybody needs to be comfortable in the position they're in. And I think when we start analyzing, I think for the fans' purposes, for media purposes, step back a little bit. You guys are smart. You guys are good. Baseball, just how it's supposed to be, and you're passionate about it. I think when we come home to Philadelphia, that's what we're doing. We're coming home, and more than anything, when guys aren't going good and when the team's not going well, you got to stick by them even more, and you'll watch it turn around a lot faster. It's one of those things where we need to have thick skin as ball players, but everybody's human, and I think based upon the time period now and the way things are, we tend to lose the concept that they're human beings too. Yep. And they're actually they're young men, and they're going out there. They don't go out there to try and do a bad job. This is baseball, and you're going to win some and you lose some. But I think consistency and them changing their mindset to doing some of the small ball things that takes good pitching and good defense, and they have all the talent in the world. They have the right management, I think. And to talk about your owner in Philadelphia a little bit, John Middleton, and that Middleton family is so passionate. I've been around the game for 45, 50 years, and I've never seen an owner that cared as much about a ball club as this man does.
He definitely wants to win. There's no doubt about it. He's willing to do what he's got to do to win.
That's right. He'll do anything it takes, and hey, he's one of those people that, he doesn't care. It's not at what cost. It's what's it going to take for us to get over the hump and be champions. And he, even with the alumni, he throws a party for the alumni, and we go to his house. And it's phenomenal. But what I see in John and the Middleton family is they have a compassion for the game, and they really want to win. And they want to do everything they can to make the players comfortable for them to win. And I think as a player, that means a heck of a lot to us. A lot of times back in the past, you'll see some of that going on. You're just a number and you're a ball player, but not here. The Middleton family does care about the ball club. So, everybody needs to kind of get on that page and calm it down a little bit. I get you're going to have your opinions about everything, and I get it, but we don't know what we don't know. So I think, most importantly for us to kind of let these managers and front office people, if I can have some conversations, it's kind of hard. It's a tough job to be able to say, how do you go to millionaire young men and get them to change their mindset and try to tell them what to do? And, I think for me, it gives me a little anxiety because that's a tough issue. And, but they got the talent, and it's just about them changing the mindset a little bit and becoming that family that, everybody talks about being. But let's make sure we are that. Make sure we don't care about our own stats. We give ourselves up to get a run. We give ourselves up to do what's best for our team, and so I think, with the talent they have in this ball club in Philadelphia and the passion they have at the top level and in management, that, they have all the tools that they can go take this all the way through. But it's a big factor that the fans stick behind these guys. Yep. It's easy to get behind them when we're winning and you're cheering, but when things aren't going good, and I know Philadelphia and you're going to boo. My dad was a command sergeant major, so
you never heard any boos,
right? It doesn't bother me a bit. So I think, the guys need to understand that as well, just to say, hey, yeah, I know. They need to understand and say, hey, you know what? These fans paid their money to come to these ball games, and they can say whatever they want to say. Because I tell the kids that I coach and the people that I know, I said, another man's opinion is none of my business. You can say whatever you want. You can feel however you want. You have that right. So don't let it get under your skin when you're a celebrity, you're out on the stage, people are going to be on you, but they want you to do well no matter what. I know in Philadelphia that's the case because Philadelphia fans are the best fans I ever played for. I know that.
Yes.
Just make sure you stick by these guys. Stay behind them because it's a long season, 162 game schedule. and you're going to have bad days, and I mean, you might have a bad week, but
and
they
90-degree weather.
Yes, and they come out of it faster when you support them at that point. Okay, so that just remember that as fans and media, and you guys just kind of, I know you're critical of everything and everybody has an answer, but I know what the answers are. Yeah, I've been around the game long enough and I know what the answers are, and backing them up is the number one answer, because you guys are like our 11th one out there, and you can play this game.
And so we've always been, thank you. We've always been very, like, on our panel, I feel like we've always been pretty fair. Because we are diehard fans. But we're not like, we're not doing the show for ratings, so we don't have to say the crazy stuff, that gets pushed out in the media and just to get a boost. We say what we feel. We want our teams to do well. So we're not, when we're critical, we feel like we're critical because they deserve it. And sometimes, I'm not going to say we're never overcritical, but I feel like during this on our show for the 10 years, we've been fair.
Oh,
we've been fair.
Yes, I agree. When I was listening to some of the stuff that your concerns, they were the concerns that I was thinking that everyone, as far as the fans and the media, that would have. I get it, believe me, and I understand, and there's nothing wrong with it, because you guys do have passion for it, and I agree with you about a lot of things. I mean, but look, I mean, it's easy to talk about the problems. We got to come to some solutions. So I think I'm going to try.
How do you get over the hump?
Right.
How
do you get over?
Keep the guys healthy?
That's it, right
it's
there.
It's an older team. How do you fix the plate discipline and all that?
Right. All those things.
I know I had the only negative like review, but it's not like I don't want them to win. I do.
Sure. It's like I said, it's all about you guys understand the game. I'm hearing you talk. So I know you're saying exactly the same thing as the owner of the Philadelphia Phillies says. How do we get over the hump? And so that's what he's working for. That's what he's trying to do right now. So I think if we just kind of sit back and let the players be the players and let the managers be the managers, because it's that chemistry and that outside negativity sometimes from your own people just creates an animosity inside the clubhouse, because you're not comfortable. You want to be comfortable. You want to, it's a tough sport. It's a tough game. It's a tough business. I get it.
Look what happened. Look what happened with Trey Turner 2 years ago, when instead of booing him, they came out and gave him an ovation. Last part of that season, he was the Trey Turner.
Yeah, you guys have as far as fans and media go, you guys have no idea. I'm going to tell you, you have no idea how much you mean to us. That's what that is. And I understand your frustration, and I get it. I do. I understand.
Well, let's not make no mistake about it. This Phillies team, that's a very good ball.
Oh my goodness, yeah. From top to bottom. From top to bottom.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna do another prize.
Yeah, do two.
We're gonna do two prizes here. All right, we ready? Everybody listening?
Listen up.
No.
Uber focus.
Uber.
We need your undivided attention.
We got 141028. 141028. We got a winner?
Winner.
Look at that, a book. Yeah, she don't want the book.
Nobody wants that book.
Nobody cares, Sean.
No, the book is called No One Likes Us. We Do Care, Ryan.
No, they really don't.
All right, well, this one is a book, so go ahead. No matter what.
All right, one more. We got 0410 or 141066.
It's called Hooked on Phonics.
066.
066.
Not 99. Turn it upside down. 066.
We were in the regular circumstances. I can tell you all how I felt. 141066. Going once.
066.
Going twice.
Here,
come on up. Come on up.
You with the beard. You're the next contestant. Come on up.
Oh, you can't come up and say hi? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, all right.
Who was it?
I don't know, some guy.
The guy over there in the orange construction shirt.
Christopher Jr.
Oh, Chris Jr. All right, cool. We have one more, but we'll do it later.
All right.
So
before we end, Steve, I got one
All right,
question
let him
for you,
finish.
Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain to us one most memorable moment as a Philly?
Oh.
Well, I think, it's quite obvious in '89, I became the first player to hit a home run from left side of the plate and the right side of the plate in the same game. But I think more importantly on that one is that we didn't give up. We were down 10-0 in the first half inning. And the fans, they didn't leave in the first half inning. Obviously, they're not. If it was 10-0 in the 7th or 8th inning, the stadium empties. But that's something you remember for sure. I wasn't even playing in that game, and I came in and got to hit the number 2 hole, not the 8 hole that night. So got some pitches. But yeah, that was one to remember for sure.
Like that's the true definition of fighting Phils.
It is indeed. It is indeed. It's a never give up effort. I to go back to that and the guys that we have here, I've seen them because I know they can do it. I've seen them last year be down a few runs, 4 or 5 runs, and then string together that small ball game and just climb back in it. And it's phenomenal to watch.
Yes.
You've seen it,
and
it's like they come back all of a sudden.
Out of it.
Oh, I'm telling you, base hit, double, and then boom, home run, then base hit. You're going to win championships. You're going to have to do that. That's the bottom line.
Yes, I agree. Thank you
I
for
think
that memory, Steve.
Absolutely, thank you. I think what people need to understand, because they say the Phillies fall off in at the end of the year and can't get over that hump. And if you understand the game during the playoffs in the World Series, you're going to see number 1, number 2 starters, setups, and closers, and these guys have pitching staffs down at the end of that season.
Yes.
So you're not getting home run pitches.
No.
You better go. You take what they give you. And if you develop that mindset out of spring training, then you're tougher to pitch to as a ball club because you're not up there swinging for the fence every time you go. So, it's just a matter of the mindset changing a little bit, but they have the talent and they have the management and they have the owner that really cares about them. So, they got the fan base that's incredible. Like I said, I went to Kansas City and I don't know who's listening from Kansas City, but to be quite honest with you, it was completely different than being here. It was like I went to a minor league stadium. It was a beautiful stadium, but as far as the knowledge and the fans and the enthusiasm, we didn't fill that stadium up that often. And here it was like night and day. I was like, wow. And I came to the Philly organization. So, you guys, give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are incredible. You guys are awesome. You do good. I really loved it. It's great playing here.
Work hard, play hard, make it hard to get me out.
There you go.
So, Steve, you were telling me a story outside about how, where you batted in the line. And the reason why I bring this up is because the whole